Well, I'll start off with, I just want to acknowledge the traditional custodians where we meet today, pay tribute to elders past and present and any emerging elders as well, and just welcome everyone else in as well into our space, Charlie, to have a yarn with us today.
Absolutely. Great acknowledgement, mate. Thank you for that. I mean, Bunjalang, Yugan Bear, people around this country, but also those around the country, whoever today, checking out what we're talking about, coming over to listen.
That's it, bro.
You're welcome, and our respects go out to you and your family and your friends.
100%. And how you been, brother?
Oh, all right, mate. Yeah, all right.
What have you been up to?
Oh, lots of things, brother. Lots of things. Supposed to have something new or something done this week, haven't we? That was a challenge last week.
Yep.
How'd you go?
I struggled a bit, to be honest, brother. And I just thought of something before that I haven't done, which Lisa and I are gonna, and probably wrote Bella into doing as well. The old hot air ballooning.
Oh,
haven't
really?
done it. So we're gonna, when this is all over, that's what we're gonna do, brother. So
good one, mate. Yeah, that'd be great. I've been once.
Yeah.
Over in New Zealand, it's just magnificent, mate. Absolutely.
I was going to say, don't tell me any disaster stories, brother.
No. We, it was okay once we got back on the ground, but it's a really good experience, mate. It was, you don't know, because all you hear is, when they're putting a bit more hot air into the balloon and they open up whatever it is, and the flame gets a bit bigger and you go up higher, but then they shut it off and it's quiet as anything, mate. Unbelievable.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
it's pretty surreal.
Floating there like a bird, brother.
Oh, yeah, mate. Yeah, you just have a look around, you just poke around, and they do fly them from here. I remember seeing some.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Up at, I think, Nerang, and I think out at Mudgeeraba as well. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say they'd have to be out of the flight path.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Yeah. That's mine. What's yours, brother?
Oh, look, mate. I didn't go out to find something new, but I did something new last night, actually. I went to a comedy club. Well, I never went to a comedy club, but I joined into a comedy club.
Wow.
And, it was quite funny. Yeah, it was a weird thing. It's, they did it on Zoom, and I think it's for the comedians. I think that it's a little bit harder, I suppose, because because we're all individuals. We're like
yeah.
When you're with the group, you kind of feel that energy amongst the group.
Yeah.
In the audience. So that was a bit different. I've never done anything like that before. Never been part of anything like that before, but it's quite interesting. It's a bit of a challenge for the comedian, I think, but also for, I think, the audience, because they were great. The comedians were funny as, but don't ask me to tell you what their names were, but they were just three guys got up and
okay.
did their bit, did their set, and but it was because we didn't have that togetherness in terms of the audience.
Yeah.
Sometimes you laugh because someone else is laughing. You know what I mean? And you get energy. And so it's a bit of a hard gig, but it was okay. I mean, it was quite interesting. The guys were, bit tested, I suppose, in terms of the comedians and their act. But it was good. That was the first time I've ever done that. Actually, to tell you, that's probably the first time I've ever went and seen a comedian.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm not, I don't go to those things normally.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's a good one, brother. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Talking to Kerry Arabina before, having a yarn to her, and that's something that she's going to actually do in a few weeks' time, is do a 6-week course. I think it's down at Mooloolaba or somewhere like that, a comedian's course. So, and then at the end, they get a chance to stand up in front of at one of the local clubs down there and do their thing. So
whereabouts in Mooloolaba?
Mooloolaba, I think.
Mooloolaba.
I want to do it for you, brother, so don't hold me to that, but yeah.
Yeah. So, wow, that'd be an experience, wouldn't it?
Of course, yeah. So,
yeah. We're dry sometimes, mate. I'm dry as with mine. I'm like the old dad jokes,
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I can't tell them properly anyway, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So, Yeah.
Maybe it's a good. Probably need some training in a workshop or whatever to make it happen. Yeah.
Well, they say that that's people's biggest fear, don't they? So
Yeah, well, public speaking, really, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I it's like anything, mate. You get a bit anxious when you start, and even I'm a bit more comfortable coming on here and having a yarn.
Yeah.
Standing in front of a big crowd of people, and going through the paces, I suppose it's kind of a bit daunting, and some people, they look like they feel relaxed on stage, but they had, inside they're just, turning.
I mean, you would have done a fair bit of that, like the same as me, getting up in front of, mob at conferences and talking about, your work and all that sort of stuff. So it does get daunting, though, doesn't it, at times? So.
Well, it does, and I don't think anyone's comfortable doing it, but once they get up there and get into it, I guess you start to feel a bit more relaxed, and sometimes I'm better just going off the cuff a bit and talking about a whole range of things than to say, well, I'm going to talk on a specific subject, because then you have to be kind of conscious of not making sure that your message is getting out there, that type of thing. So, mate, look, like a lot of fellas have a lot of trouble just speaking one-on-one to people.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll do a little bit of a funny story about that, Charlie. In 2005, I think it was, I was in the audience in Adelaide at a conference, at a men's health conference, and my then lecturer grabbed me up on stage to come up and talk to him about what we've been doing in the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander space around our men's work. And I reluctantly got up there, Charlie. I can tell you right now, I was scared as I've probably ever been. And what happened was, from there, it was really hard for me to speak. My legs started shaking uncontrollably. And seriously, it was the worst feeling ever. And all he did was, it was Dr. Rick Hayes, who I'm talking about now, he just put his hand on my shoulder, and it completely calmed me. My legs stopped, and I was able to then talk about what we were supposed to be talking about. But, geez, it was a scary thing, Charlie, I can tell you right now. But these days, you get up and you talk about anything, so it's and I'm a bit like you, look, I'd rather talk off the cuff and not go by, whatever PowerPoints and all that sort of stuff. I think that makes it a little bit harder.
Yeah, all that technical stuff, unless you do it and you got a love for it and you know what you're talking about, that's great. But for me, it's all that technical stuff is kind of, I'm going into no man's land there for me.
Yeah.
Geez, I don't know much about this, but I think the good thing is that if you do it in practice and whatever, saying that you don't know much about it is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So that's not my expertise. That's not my cup of tea.
That's right. And I suppose when we do get up there and we're talking about something that we're really passionate about and something that we love doing, and something that we've been doing for a while, I think that comes over, and you're able to do it off the cuff as well. So
yeah, mate. Well, really the expert about what you're talking about, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and true experience too, brother. So
yeah, absolutely. And tell the stories, and I guess as you get older, you can, you got a lot of stories. I think that for any young fellow out there coming up and up and coming, sort of wanting to get into public speaking or have to do that for a job, I think maybe young but still got a story. You know what I mean? Everyone's got a story. You know what I mean? So,
absolutely. And everyone deserves to have their story told too, Charlie.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think sometimes, although in that space, you get a bit tongue-tied and you might draw a blank and you know what you're supposed to be talking about.
Yeah.
You just stop and think, oh, my God, what's going on?
I think that happens to the best of us, Charlie. So, yeah, we've all been tongue-tied at one time or another.
Or the worst of us.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we're going to just want to say hello to Leanne. She's my cousin. She said she just wanted to shout out to us. So, yeah, so g'day, Leanne, and anyone else that's listening out there. We've also got a really special guest tonight, Charlie, coming on coming on board. I'm just going to bring him into the picture now if we can, just see if this works, because this is the first time we've done this. So bear with us. Can we see Adam? Yes, there he is.
Yeah, here he is.
Hey, brother boy, how are you?
Hello, thank you so much for inviting me on. I just want to quickly say that I'd like to acknowledge the Gidable people, who are the traditional custodians of the land on where I am currently presenting from today. And I'd just love to say that I'm absolutely honoured and feel very privileged that you fellas have invited me on. So thank you both very much. It's an honour to be on with you both.
Yeah, pleasure, brother.
Welcome, mate. Welcome, Adam. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Charlie.
A little bit about Adam. He's a pretty quiet fella, so he's a pretty modest fella as well. With some of the stuff that he's done with Mibbenbar around our website and the media side of things and everything else, and it goes a long way back, Adam. It goes back to, I reckon, 2008 or something like that you've been helping us out with our website, and you've just recently completely rebuilt Mibbenbar's website, and it's an absolute beauty. We love it, and people love it. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of our heart, of Mibbenbar's heart, and it's been a real pleasure to know you. So you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself, Adam, and a little bit about what you do, and then we can fire a few questions at you. Eh?
Yeah. No, thanks, Jack, and thank you for your kind words. Honestly, it's I'm super honoured to be able to help in any way that I can with the Mibbenbar project. So loved working with you over the years. But as for me, I'm a proud Yorta man. I was born on the Gold Coast, but currently based in Warwick, which is about 2.5 hours west of the Gold Coast, Brisbane area. And my wife and I, we own and operate our own business out here, but we service our clients Australia-wide. So we specialise in e-commerce and e-commerce web development and training and consulting. So we really love working with small businesses, and nothing feels better than to help small businesses out or organisations out and see them succeed online.
Well done, brother. Yeah, fantastic.
That's good, mate. Yeah.
I think you've probably been a little bit modest there too. I mean, I've spoken to a lot of people, even just recently, how much you've actually helped. You and Carmel have helped, and you've got a little story too about taking off around Australia with the kids and the caravan and all that sort of stuff. Tell us a little bit about that, brother.
Oh, well, it's definitely been a really crazy year so far, but I'm sure that everyone feels the same way. Our family, we had planned to travel Australia this year in our caravan. We were going to hopefully take our workshops and consulting to small regional towns around Australia, helping small businesses, helping Aboriginal communities with e-commerce and any help that they needed in that kind of area. So we had that all kind of planned out. We left Warwick earlier this year and got down as far as Victoria. We were camping along the Murray River down in Yorta country, which was amazing. But we were keeping a really close eye on everything, all the craziness that was happening, and when borders started closing and all that sort of stuff started happening, we made the decision to rush back up to Queensland, back to our town in Warwick, and we've had to really adapt and change the way that we do business. But it's going really well. Our business is going really well. Thank goodness, and we've been very fortunate to be able to help a lot of people through this time, especially like brick and mortar businesses that need to transition to online selling. So we've been able to work a lot with businesses like that. But yeah, Jack, it's been a crazy year, but we're trying to make the most of it and trying to take the positives out of it all.
Yeah. Now that's great, mate. That's you know, I I can't imagine the kilometres you put in, I suppose, to get back home. I suppose. And did you have any problems actually getting back over borders? And that?
No, thank goodness, Charlie. We made it back over the Queensland border. I think 2 or 3 days before it actually officially shut down. So
Yeah.
we made it back in time, thank goodness. But we'd already signed a contract to rent our house out for the year. So we didn't kind of have anywhere to come back to. But we've been very fortunate with friends and family that have offered us places to stay over the last few months.
Yeah.
And currently we're staying in some very kind friends have allowed us to stay on their property, which is about half an hour out of Warwick. And they've got like a little cabin on this property out here that we're currently staying in. So it's got pretty bad internet access, unfortunately. I've had to come up to the top of a hill to get some decent internet to talk to you fellas today. And
Yep.
Uh-oh. There goes that internet.
Yeah. Might have to hold that.
Yeah, we'll hold that. Yeah. We'll have to go to the higher hill, Adam. Just while we're at that, just a shout out to Roscoe. G'day, Roscoe. Thanks for watching. And to
I think Carmel's out there as well. Is she Carmel? That's
yeah, that's Adam's wife.
Adam's wife, yeah.
And Arnie Dawn as well.
Arnie Dawn is David and Lee. They're out there having a listen in too, so that's good. Going to try and come back in, I think. Jack, he's going to try and click back in.
We've lost Adam, so we'll just see what happens here for a minute.
Yeah.
And shout out to Robin too. G'day, Robin.
Here he is.
No.
No.
All right.
He's got to hold his mouth the right way when he
does. Exactly. Might need to go that bit further up the hill, brother.
Bit like the old days with the old tally, you know, when we have to get the rabbit ears inside the house and walking around trying to get the
old coat hanger.
Hey?
Get the old coat hanger.
Oh yeah. Well, we're showing our age now, Jack.
Yeah, here we go. We got Adam back, so let's welcome Adam back. Hey, brother.
Yeah, you're back on, mate.
So sorry about that. I was just telling you fellas that that this cabin that I'm staying in, it has very bad internet access. So I drove up to the top of this mountain out here, and I'd planned to have this beautiful tree behind me, and I was going to have a really nice view for you fellas, but it's so cold out there, so I'm sitting in my car at the moment. Yeah, I'm sorry, the internet's pretty bad. I'm really sorry about dropping that.
Don't worry about it, mate. Don't worry about
it. Me and Charlie have heaps of troubles with the technology, so we're just going with the flow, brother. So
yeah. We're doing it by braille, bud. At the moment.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and Adam, I've got to say, I met you some years ago. I think when we were going around doing some consultation around the Chamber of Commerce, and you and your dad, I think, came to one of those things. Yeah.
I definitely remember meeting you, Charlie. I think our paths have crossed a few times over the years. And it's wonderful to chat to you again. My story. I don't want to go into too much detail, but I have worked. I've been very fortunate to work with my dad quite a lot over the years, and his business was the first one that I was able to help to transition online and to help him transition from being a cabinet maker that sold products not products really. He was just a normal cabinet maker, busting his guts every day, and working really hard, but also very open to trying new things out, and so he was open to trying e-commerce and changing to become an online business, and now he sells his products Australia wide. So I've really seen firsthand how powerful that is. So yeah, I loved working with my dad over the years, and
Yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, I remember when you guys were. He was taking orders over online, and all made stuff as well. So, they'd pack it up into a box and send it off. Didn't you? It was just amazing that business. Yeah. So
yeah.
a lot of people do that now. Look at IKEA. It's all the same thing, or Bunnies do the same thing now. So you're way ahead of your time, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I think the point of difference with my dad's business is that he custom makes everything to suit the customer's requirements. So that's one of the big differences with his business.
Absolutely. Yeah. So now you mentioned, mate, that it was cold outside. So I reckon we're going to get a bit of a snap. I'm not looking forward to it. That's for sure.
No.
Yeah, I'm from up North Queensland, so it can be rainy and hot and humid. I'm happy, but when it gets cold, I've got to start rugging up.
Yeah. I'm exactly the same, fellas. Even though I'm a Yorta man, I think I must have some North Queensland blood in me or something like that, because I'm much more comfortable in the warmer weather, and I'm not built for the cold.
Yeah.
Well, we're the same, brother, because we lived in Cairns for 2.5 years, and we loved that weather, and we thought it was pretty cold when we got down here to the Gold Coast. So not looking forward.
You guys must be fairly isolated out where you are then, in that cabin. How are you getting on? Living that stay-at-home stuff, mate. I guess that your work can be done as long as you've got internet access. It can keep you busy. Outside of that, what else do you do, mate?
Yeah, no. I think, Charlie. For me, I've been working from home for like 15 years now, or something like that, and working remotely. So I actually really like. I like being by myself, and I really like. I'm just used to working from home and all that sort of stuff. So for me, it's not that big of a difference with this change, but I think for my wife Carmel, it's probably been challenging for her, and definitely challenging for the kids, that they're really missing their friends and missing all that interaction, social interaction. But to answer your question, we've just been so busy with our business, and interestingly, we've been having so many web meetings like this. So I reckon I've been actually more social over the last few months than I've ever been, actually, with all these online meetings and things. So it's been great. The biggest challenge for us has honestly been having the kid, trying to manage school and work has been really challenging for us.
I want to ask you something about that, Adam. So how have you gone with the homeschooling thing? Because I know I've really struggled. So you might have some tips for anyone out there.
No, I'm open to. I'm the one who needs the tips, actually. We're struggling with it, honestly, especially because our business is going really well, or really we're flat out with business and as well. So I think and this is something I wanted to chat to you fellas about, actually, because I do feel like we are struggling with that, with managing or balancing the schooling and parenting with business life as well. And where I don't know, I honestly feel like if I spend lots of time on the business, I'm letting my family down and letting the kids down. But then but I want to spend as much time as possible with the kids, and that schooling stuff is really important. And so the more energy I put into that, then I feel like I'm letting my clients down. So we are struggling with that balance, and so I definitely feel like we're not getting it right.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah. We've just got a couple of other comments there, and one of them from Dave Chisel Cherney. He says, "Stay safe, boys." So it's probably something that we're talking about there. And Lee Rickson also said, "Laughing is the best medicine." So we all know that we need to have a laugh and get a bit of humour into anything that we do. And I think does go a long way to helping. But I did notice you last night working pretty late last night, brother. And you did sort of worry me a little bit that you were working that late. So
Yeah.
I think we do need to find that balance of, and those healthy boundaries and those sort of things to be able to give a little bit back to the family as well as making the business work as well. Because at the end of the day, if you're not there, the business is not going to work, brother. So
yeah, that's right. And I think, Adam, you got to realise you're doing your best, and that's all you can do. I mean, don't beat yourself up about it. I know you've got your business, and obviously your children, and their education is paramount as well. But look, we're not teachers, and we don't profess to be teachers, I guess, but and have the time to dedicate to young people, our young people, our children. But I think that if we miss something or we don't do something, don't beat yourself up about it. Just say, look, all right, we're going to get on with that, down the track. We'll have a look at that tomorrow or whatever. But I don't have time at the moment. I need to get this done. And even, getting your kids, I suppose, involved in what you do as well. So that, and it's not only that kind of professional stuff that you do with your IT and web development, all that type of thing, but it's also about working together and having jobs and responsibilities, and say, you need to do. It's kind of that type of stuff they don't teach at work, at school, I suppose. They don't teach that type of stuff, and I think that's important. Although they might be missing out some of the stuff in the curriculum, they're actually gaining some other things in terms of work ethic or even life. We talked about today, Jack, didn't we? About having rules and great in terms of kids can do a lot of stuff academically, but when you put them in a life situation, they kind of don't know what to do. So great opportunity to be bringing some of that life education into play as well. So
yeah.
And I think that's the thing too, brother, is, as CJ said, like, you're doing your best that you can, and you've got to give yourself a pat on the back for that. Not enough of us give ourselves a pat on the back or a pat on each other's back and say, well done. We tend to look at things that we haven't done, whereas we should be looking at the good things that we have done. So hang in there, brother. And the other thing is too that, and it really is about a transfer of knowledge. You're transferring that knowledge to the young ones, but you're also learning off them. So it's that back and forth transfer of knowledge, which is really invaluable for everyone and especially in times like this.
Yeah, definitely. And they've been saying we just got to get through it together, So all of us, everyone, and that's in the family as well. Maybe it's about helping mum out too in terms of the kitchen or the cleaning or whatever. It's I think although it's a terrible thing, this pandemic. I think there's also opportunity that lies in there too, and it's about especially with young people, getting them into a habit of doing things before they go back, before it all goes normal again, because hopefully those habits will outlive the COVID-19, and all of a sudden they are doing things like making their bed, cleaning the room up, helping mum. They've got little jobs that they need to do and all that sort of thing. I know that you're pretty lucky because you're living out in the land, but some young people that live in, say, urban places like Brizzy and down here at the Gold Coast, they're probably still on their computers, playing games and all sorts of things. But we need to sort of start looking at those life skills and responsibility and being, kind of part of the family, if you like. And
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
and it's just an opportunity to some of those old basics, really. Yeah.
And we have said it before too, CJ and Adam. Like the thing is, it's taught us a lot about going back to basics and doing the basic things and not to be greedy as well. Like some people got greedy early on where they probably didn't need to, which was more about the panic that the media puts out there and those sort of things. So it's as CJ said before, it is about we can get through this together. And that's the thing about, like even everyone listening out there, like give a shout out to someone that's on their own that might be struggling and those sort of things. And even as you said, like you're struggling to try and find that balance. So it's good that, that you're actually speaking about it and, talking to us about it. We could check in with you now and say, you need to have a yarn or whatever. Let us help you. You help everyone else, brother. So we're going to be there for you as well. So,
Yeah.
Thank you. That's so kind. I really appreciate that, and thank you for your encouraging words. It's really helpful. So, thank you.
No, that's all right.
No worries, brother. I mean, everyone's there for everyone. You know what I mean? So we just need, sometimes we need that little bit of a pinprick to say, maybe spill our guts and say, look, I am struggling. So I applaud you for coming on here and actually saying how you feel, brother, because
Absolutely.
you come on here and just said, no, everything's rosy, everything's going. And as you know, your business is going well. You could have just stuck with that. But thank you for sharing, something that's personal to you.
Yeah, definitely. And guys, I think it's a great example of what can happen when we start having a yarn. You know what I mean? It's all about. And for those people out there who, like you say, JB is, have no one, and you need to reach out and have a chat to men. Actually, we're talking about this. My wife and I, we walked down the beach here, and she said, it kind of. She said she's got an observation. She says, guys that go surfing, they go surfing together, or they go down and they're in the water, and they're having a bit of a chat out there as well. So it's even though there's no competition on, but they're out there having a surf and having a bit of fun, and then going back connecting with their mates, and sitting out in the water having a bit of a yarn and talking about the surf or whatever. It's kind of like very much what we do here in this half hour or segment that we do every Monday and Friday. It's just having a general conversation, encouraging others to do the same thing, go and have a chat to someone, whether it's about the weather, but don't be afraid to ask those, talk about those hard things that happen. Everyone's not, I think Jack was talking about this today, it's not all rosy for anybody. It's not all rosy. And there are sometimes when we find it difficult to cope with a lot of things in our lives. So being able to open up and having a chat with somebody that that you connect with is always a good thing, and helps us to work through some of that stuff. And hopefully, Adam, it's kind of having a yarn with us is giving you some ideas about
Definitely.
you can do. And like I said, don't beat yourself up.
No, that's it. And as you say, CJ, everyone has their ups and downs. At Bar, we run a lot of different workshops, and one of them is on relationships as well. And probably the biggest relationship that we deal with every day is our relationship with ourselves. So we have to get that somewhere near right, and then we can work on other relationships. And we do continually need to work on relationships, whether it be with your partner, your kids, your friends, or whatever relationship we're talking about. It might be your dog. But we have to work on those relationships constantly.
I laugh because we're talking about pets today, and no, that's all right. We won't go there, Jack.
I think we might actually, Charlie.
No, don't go there, brother. No.
I'm gonna dob you in here, Charlie. Michelle, Charlie's beautiful wife today, and she wants to get a little dog. But Charlie's no. We're not allowed to have dogs in our complex. It's not quite true, because you can have a dog that weighs up to 10 kilos, I think, Charlie. So.
Oh no, I think we have to read the fine.
It's a special one, is it?
Look, don't get me wrong, I love dogs and cats and all sorts of things, but as long as there's someone else's dog and cat, that's great,
Let's go.
We went
listening, actually.
Hey?
I hope Michelle's listening.
No, she probably is. I think she is watching. I think she said she's watching and listening. So, but yeah, no, that's that's another.
I had to drop that one in
down the track. Yeah. Maybe when we head back over to North Stratty, and we might have a look at that. Yes.
Yeah. We'll see, eh?
We'll see, mate. We'll see. Yeah. So, but yeah,
Now, sorry, I've got another question for you, Adam. I seen you, would have been probably a month ago, do a little webinar. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the webinar that you and Carmel ran?
Yes, definitely. Thank you. We've actually been very fortunate to run quite a few. But that first one was our first I think our first foray into running our workshops online. So the workshops and things that we had planned to run in person, we're now transitioning to those that are being run remotely. The one that we ran a few weeks ago, that was our first experience. We just decided to open it up to anyone to attend. We wanted as many businesses as possible to have access to that, and it's a bit like what you fellows were talking about earlier on, with the public speaking and that side of things. I definitely can relate to that because I'm not comfortable up in front of talking to people, but even that first experience of running something live was really, I was very nervous about that. My wife, on the other hand, is a very the opposite of me, very natural public speaker, very outgoing. I'm very introverted, so I was really nervous about that, but we tried to get as prepared as possible, and we just decided to do it and take that leap. And after we did that first one, it's really becoming easier and easier now to go live and to present to a group of people. So that's something that was a really big challenge for me and a new experience. But after doing it, it's becoming easier and easier now. So yeah, it was fantastic and was very well received, thank goodness. And through running that one webinar, we've had so many organizations reach out to us, and so we've got so many exciting projects coming up. So it was a really good experience.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Look, Adam, before we go any further, what's the name of your business, mate?
Sorry, just my internet was playing up for a second there. Our business is called Empower Digital, and we really specialize in e-commerce and the Shopify platform we love working with, and small businesses.
So did you say Empower Digital?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, Charlie. Yeah, Empower.
I'm just sharing it in the comments, mate. So
thank you so much.
Go and find you, and maybe get in contact.
There's actually a link. We put Adam's little bio up earlier, or Lisa did, I should say.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's got the website URL and all that there. So
yeah.
No, thank you so much, fellas. I honestly didn't come on today to try and get to try and promote our business. We're just really happy to help in any way that we can.
Yeah.
But thank you for the shout out. We really appreciate that.
No, definitely, mate. And it's all about you want to help people, I suppose, and people that are obviously at this point in time are looking at different ways to communicate. Whether it's about what they do or who they are, and definitely an opportunity to get in contact with you, Adam, I suppose, to have some conversations about it at least, and maybe just help to for that family, for instance, who live apart, to be able to connect. Yeah.
No, thank you so much. Really happy to help anyone who's finding it challenging to if someone's struggling with their business or struggling to sell products, we can definitely help with the e-commerce side of things.
Yep.
So Adam, you actually been doing a little bit of work with IBA, or?
Yeah. Yes. Well, I'd love to. IBA has been just so good for us. we were very fortunate to attend a few workshops that IBA were running last year. Or we've actually been attending quite a few workshops over the years with IBA. But we were really.
IBA is, Adam, just for people that don't know. IBA is in.
Sorry. The IBA is Indigenous Business Australia.
Yeah.
And IBA is the, I believe, the Indigenous branch of the government business side of things.
Sure.
And so IBA run lots of workshops and programs for small business, Indigenous small businesses throughout Australia. And I think they have some loan programs and other things.
Yeah, sure do.
Yeah, they're fantastic. And we were really, really fortunate to be invited to apply to be part of the Indigenous Business Australia Accelerator program that they run, which is it's a program that IBA run. I think they run it maybe once or twice a year, and they take a group of Indigenous businesses that are kind of starting out or might need some help to get to the next level, and we were fortunate to be part of that. The way it works is it's a 4 week long blocks that are spread out over 4 months. So they actually take you as a business owner, you get to go away and work one-on-one with some mentors for a week-long block, which is spread over 4 months. Hopefully that makes sense. I haven't explained that very well, sorry. But that was a huge help for our business to really work on our mission and intent and getting our cash flow, financial side sorted out, and just all those business planning things that I think often get pushed to the back when, as a business owner, for me at least, and they helped us to really just figure out why we're doing what we're doing and really figure out what we want to do and to help us make a plan to make that happen. So that was a huge opportunity that we were just so thankful to be part of. And honestly, it was life-changing for us. It was just a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and not just the business side of things that we worked on, but the people that we met through that program was probably even more so the amazing things out of that. So not just the other, I think there was 7 businesses all up that were part of it, and we're all really close now, and we're all stay in touch, and I feel those other people that we met are almost like family to us now. They're just beautiful people that we met through the program, and our mentors and the people from IBA. Everyone was so good to us, and it was an incredible opportunity.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Well said.
Yeah.
Pretty inspiring, I think. Yeah, being able to be in a group like that obviously have their own dreams and visions, I suppose, and an opportunity to work on their business, not actually in their business. And
Yep, exactly.
That place, it's it's exciting for each individual, I suppose, when you're starting to realise that you're going to start business. You're actually going to take that step and open up your own business, and away you go. So I think it's pretty good. Good job.
Absolutely, and I think too that it's always really gratifying to work with like-minded people and that have the same sort of visions as ourselves, and be able to be in that space and again learn from them and you teaching others. I mean, it's just such a fantastic space to be in, I think. So
yeah, definitely, yeah. No, it's excellent. Hey, Adam, I was going to ask you something about Warwick though. You guys are having trouble with water out that way, weren't you, or at some stage?
Yeah, definitely, Charlie. It's the Warwick and Darling Downs have been in a huge drought for many years, and it's still pretty bad out here. We were really fortunate to have quite a bit of rain earlier this year while we were away. When we rushed back to Warwick, it was a big difference to see all the beautiful green grass and water tanks being full and that sort of stuff. But yeah, we definitely need a lot more rain and yeah, it's still really bad.
Yeah.
Lack of water out here.
Hey, mate, it just dawned on me, you would have been down in Victoria when all those fires started kicking on.
No, we actually travelled down after that all happened.
Right, wow.
Yeah, thank goodness. But we actually drove through a few towns and it was just terrible to see the damage that happened down there. So yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, it's 2020 hasn't started real good for us, all of us anyway. But
No.
I think it might have hit the reset button for us. I think that's all.
Absolutely.
You know,
Reset, reconnection, and I think we will be. Look, we're looking forward to a better second half of the year, eh? So.
Oh yeah, and the good thing about that, Jack, is we can all get ready for that. You know, we've got some time to do some planning and stuff, and you know, some of us are lucky enough to be able to continue working, but you know, we've got to sort of work towards what's going to happen post COVID-19 and getting ourselves set like a little bit like what Adam went through with that IBA, that accelerator course.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now getting all your ideas together, and once it goes back, hopefully it'll be it'll give a lot of people, I suppose, a little bit of hope, and a bit of hope to get some good things out of this whole mess that we're in. So yeah.
Now, speaking of Adam's Empower Digital, Lisa's just put the link up in the comments. So
beautiful. Yeah,
the website. So yeah, so if you need to have a look, go and have a look at Adam and Carmel's website. You won't be disappointed. So
thank you both very much.
Adam, you keep in contact with Dad a bit?
Oh, definitely, absolutely. So I still do a lot of work for Dad, and feel very, very privileged to be able to keep doing that. Yeah, so he's doing really well. His business is going well, thank goodness. I think because he works from home as well and outsources all of his manufacturing and that sort of stuff. So thank goodness he was in a kind of a good position when everything started this year. So he didn't have all those overheads and things like that a lot of other business owners have. So thank goodness he's still going well and doing really well.
Yeah. Have you got any brothers and sisters, mate?
Yeah, I've got one sister.
Oh, right. Yeah.
My sister Jade. So I don't know if she's watching, but
I think she was on before, or she wished you good luck. I think so.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah.
So how important is for you to keep in contact with your family like that?
Oh, it's very important for both Carmel and I to keep in contact with our families, and I think that we're living in a very fortunate time when we have technology where we can FaceTime friends and family and just like we're doing now to be able to actually see each other and keep in touch. And so yeah, it's super important, fellas, for us and for our kids as well. They are also constantly FaceTiming family and friends, which is great. So yeah, it is really important.
Probably the way of the future, eh? So
yeah.
And as we've said, Charlie, over the last couple of weeks, we've learned a lot about different platforms that we're able to use for getting our message or, saying g'day or whatever the need is. We've been able to work around those sort of situations now. And I think we're getting better, Charlie.
I think we are, mate. We're getting better. We're getting better with this particular platform, this Be Live thing. And it's great that we, Jack's gone ahead and got us on so we can, interview a third person, Adam, that's you today. And hopefully, on Monday we'll do the same thing. We'll have a guest on. I'll say who that is at the moment. It may be a surprise guest. So, that'll be great. I think, and we can sit here and talk all day, me and Jack, me and JB. We can sit here and talk, to the fat kind of do, whatever was happening in our lives, I guess. But it's always good to connect with, fellas like you, Adam, out in the community, having your own interests as well as family, getting to understand, that, some of the things you're doing is exactly what we all should be doing. You know what I mean? And we're all, like we said, it's no one's missed out in this COVID stuff. Everyone's affected, in whatever way. But yeah, thank you for coming on and having a yarn with us. I suppose it's we want to do this more often.
Yeah, and plus, I just want to add to what CJ just said then too, Adam. Look, like coming on to have a yarn about the work, but I really do applaud you for talking about, that you're struggling a little bit, because we need more fellas like yourself to be able to come on and just tell how you're feeling, because that's the thing that, we may be able to help each other with, is just having a yarn and just seeing how you're traveling and all that sort of thing. So I really do applaud you for that, brother. It takes a lot of courage to do that. So thank you.
I just want to say thank you to you both for inviting me on, and it's honestly been a huge honour and privilege to be able to yarn with you both today, and thank you for giving me a safe space to talk about those things. And I do agree with you. I really didn't want to just say, yeah, everything's going great and we're nailing this this homeschooling thing. That's absolutely not the case at all. So we are absolutely failing every day at lots of things, but we're trying. We're doing the best that we can, but we have a long way to go. But thank you for your kind words and encouragement.
That's the thing, brother. Just pat yourself on the back and say, well done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Don't beat yourself up, mate. We can, where we sort of a bit slack in one area, we're better in the other. So, and if that can rub off on the kids, that's good, that sort of stuff. And they're probably getting a little bit extra than what they would get sitting in a classroom at the school at this stage. Yeah. So.
Yeah, hopefully. We're still figuring it all out. We definitely don't have all the answers yet. But we're just every day we're trying something different and just trying to establish those routines. And I think what you were saying earlier on, Charlie, that I think that there's opportunities to learn in different ways now. So I think that we do have to remind ourselves that even if our kids aren't doing all of the hours of schoolwork that they're supposed to do every day, hopefully they're learning in other ways and learning those life skills that you were talking about as well. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up, because I think that's an area that I definitely need to focus on more, is getting our kids involved in just cooking and cleaning up and all that sort of those simple basic things that
that's right.
Need to learn about. So
yeah, it's the mundane stuff, mate. Master the mundane, and they'll be well set for the future, I guess.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Adam, what do you got on for the weekend, brother?
Yeah.
Oh well, good question. Nothing exciting. Sorry. I think we've got so many. Again, I don't want to bore everyone talking about work, but we've got so many projects on the go. So I think another thing that I'm trying to also do more, that I need to get better at, is also acknowledging that my wife Carmel is an equal part of our business, and I often am really bad at kind of immersing myself in work and kind of letting Carmel do all the schooling and that sort of stuff. And I'm trying to get better at giving Carmel to focus on our business, and I'm trying to take more ownership of the schoolwork and that side of things. So Carmel's kind of got a big project that she's working on at the moment for one of our clients. So I think I'm going to try and give Carmel as much time over the weekend to work on that, and I'll try and spend as much time as I can with the kids. And so I think that's kind of what our plans are this weekend. But also we might try and have a few sleep-ins as well, because we've been doing some late nights, like you said, Jack, earlier on.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. I was a bit worried about you. Listen, I'm going to give a shout out to Vinny and Taylor down in Melbourne. They're on having a look. So, g'day, Vinny and Taylor. Have a good week. And what about you, CJ? What do you got planned for the weekend?
Mate, I'm glad Adam said that, because I think the other thing that crossed my mind when you were talking, Adam, and it certainly sounds like you've got quite a bit on, both you and Carmel. So, take a bit of time off, guys. Have a bit of a break. Make a point of it. Make a date of it, saying, hey, look, let's take the kids up bush or something and just get away from the computer for half, whatever it might be. Because that will help as well, in terms of.
Bring the kids down to the Gold Coast, brother, because Charlie will look after them for you. So they'll babysit for the couple of hours.
Yeah. And
no, I'm joking.
He's a good home.
You bring him down to us, and we'll look after him, brother.
Thank you.
And you can get out and have a picnic or something.
Yeah.
That's very, very kind. Thank you, Jack. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what I'm doing on the weekend, actually. It's got to be something I've got to do. I mean, it's Groundhog Day here, Adam. It's kind of like deja vu every day. Like I do the same thing every day, and I guess that's not going to be any different. We did, because of this relaxation rules today, we went and had fish and chips, Jack.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, just down over near Tweed. So beautiful fish and chips, and we sat out in the park and did that bit. So that was quite good.
Yeah, the river.
And did that, yeah. So but nothing else, I don't think. I've got a little bit of work to do, as like everyone. I mean, might as well do it while we're not doing anything. I don't know. It's
different times, eh?
Different times, yeah. And we often want to get out of this place anyway. It's a beautiful place we're living in, and Adam, your dad's still down the Gold Coast, or?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, based in Carrara. Yes.
Oh, is he? Okay, up that way. All right. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of as you can appreciate, there's the beaches and all that sort of stuff, but trying to find something different to do is that's a bit of a challenge. So, but it will happen. I think. I was telling Jack today that I for some reason went back many years and started reciting poetry.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, which was weird because I don't know, for some reason. Oh, that's right. Something happened. We were in the car park, and Michelle said, "Oh, there's a bit of movement today in the car park." And as soon as she said that, I started with, there was movement at the station for the word had got around, and I started the whole thing. I thought, where did that come from? Anyway, so when I got back here, I started looking it up and, having a look at all the poetry that's about. There's some really great Aboriginal poets here as well in Australia, and some really good poems, about the land and country and all that sort of stuff. So maybe I'll have a look at that more closely. Yeah, Jack.
Lost that event, so we'll just keep going, brother. Just before we close off, I've just got a little message for Vinny down there in Melbourne. Where's your push-ups, brother? Because I put you in that challenge and you haven't come through with the goods yet. So get down and do those 25 push-ups, Vinny.
This fella is push-upping and everywhere. He's all over the place, this Jackie Bullman, JB.
Wow. Yeah, and the funny thing about it though, Charlie, if someone said to you do 25 push-ups a day for 25 days, you'd probably give up after 3 or 4 days. But when someone gives you that challenge online and that sort of stuff, and you need to put it up, well, then I think you take a bit more responsibility for it, and then you want to do it. So that's I probably would have given up after 3 or 4 days if I hadn't had to put them up online. So it does make you more accountable, I think, Charlie.
Well, I know what you're doing on the weekend then. You'll be doing push-ups on Saturday and Sunday.
Bike ride as well, brother.
Listen, mate, have the day off. Monday is a public holiday.
Oh, thanks, brother. That's mighty big of you too.
I don't know, what is it? Apparently it is. Someone told me that today, and they said, yeah.
Well, we heard the same thing, CJ. You know, like there's a public holiday. We don't know what it's for though. So
It's Labor Day, I think. Labor Day.
okay.
So, yeah, Labor Day public holiday. I don't think they'll be marching the streets and doing all that sort of stuff. But, yeah, but it is Labor Day. And if you're planning on, if you are going to work, have another think about that and find out whether or not you're supposed to be there. Essential services will keep going. Those guys on the front line doing great jobs again, you know, as always. They're, you know, they're front and centre. You know, I heard some really sad news about some domestic violence issues on the news. You know, there's all of that stuff happening around the place, and you know, I encourage fellas or everyone to sort of get along and chill out and take it easy. You know, take a breath and look after yourselves and your family and your friends.
I think a really important issue that you raised there, CJ, as well. You know, like we do need to be thinking about those sort of issues as well. So yeah, look, times are different. Times are, you know, sometimes hard and those sort of things. But let's, as you said before, let's try and work together to be able to get through all this with the least amount of damage. You know, so
yeah, absolutely. Well, actually, you know, it's probably not. It's reducing that damage, but it's about increasing opportunity and hope. I think that's what we need to be looking at for more hope and more opportunity.
Hope's a beautiful word, brother.
And more love,
and more love. Yeah.
Decent.
All right, brother.
Thank you, Adam. Wherever you are, mate. I just want to say, you know, I really appreciate young Adam getting on board and having a chat with us. Like I said, we'll probably have another person come on, guest speaker next Monday night at 5:30. I think we're on.
Yeah.
So tune in again. Thanks, Bud. JB.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for dropping in and saying g'day. Have a great weekend. And do what you need to do to be happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Peace out.
Bye-bye.